because I think Luigi's kind of forgotten. Do you enjoy the Resident Evil series? I haven't played much of it. I enjoy watching it, but I'm not a huge fan of first-person shooters, just because outside of like GoldenEye for the N64, and I'm not up to date on much of the modern systems, so I've never played much of it. However, I do enjoy watching LPs of it. Also, link in the sidebar to Durden77 and Cypheron48's co-op Let's Play Resident Evil 5, which is absolutely hilarious if you have some time to kill in your hands, which you shouldn't, because you should have more of a life than I do. Would you ever do LP1 just because I haven't played it? No. XX Jason Q XX says, what kind of music do you listen to? The second question is, would you consider doing a joint Let's Play with other LPers on YouTube? In regards to music I listen to, I don't listen to bands as much as I listen to songs. You know, I like the Beatles a lot. I like oldies. I kind of browse around for more top 40 stuff. Sometimes I think the newest Britney Spears album, the one with Circus and If You See Gamey and stuff like that, that in 3 and stuff. That's quite, though I don't have that album, that's quite good. And I got into a lot of kind of the more obscure stuff when I worked at the radio station as well. So basically whatever's in the purchased list of my stuff I download off iTunes and my iPod, that's pretty much what I mostly listen to. And anything I randomly put up in the video on my page. And the second, would you consider doing a joint Let's Play? I'd love to do that, actually. I think that would be really fun. My one thing would be I don't want people to do it just so they can get subscribers off me. I mean, I don't have a lot, but for someone new. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I can really get working is Super Nintendo. But if you have if you're interested, if anyone's interested in doing something like that, drop me a PM, because I think that would be really cool. And my schedule's fairly open, so when I would co-op, but I don't know the technicalities behind that, but I'd love to. Yeah, that'd be awesome. The crew person asks, have you played Ninja Gaiden and have you played Metal Gear Solid? It says Metal Gear Solid, but I know what you mean. No and no, though they sound like old games. And then, that was simple enough. Doggy080 is one of my first 5 subs. Says, I can't think of any good questions at the moment, except how have your views on Let's Plays changed since you started doing Let's Plays? That's actually a really good question. I like that one. The thing is, like, sometimes when I tend to get good at things, not good, but when I tend to know more about things, I get more frustrated with people who don't do things well. Like when I learned how to DJ in radio for a while, and people were being not so good DJs, I'd get really frustrated with it. So it's not necessarily that I'm more frustrated with like new Let's Players, because I think everybody, you know, deserves a chance and if they want to. But I think since I do them, I realize, I acknowledge how hard it is to constantly talk. Like, that's one of the things that, especially lately, I've been noticing. That it's constantly hard to just talk and talk and talk. You know, there are people who do it really well. SSOH does it really well. Nintendo Capri Sun does it well. Cthulhu Luigi. You, Doggy080, you do it quite well as well. Your videos always put a smile on my face. So I kind of appreciate how tough it is, even though it seems like it would be simple. But in addition, I think now that I do my Let's Plays and I have a style of doing them, I also have an appreciation for how people approach it differently. You know, some people talk more than others, and whether you don't talk a lot doesn't necessarily make it more or less effective, or how much you talk about other stuff versus the game doesn't necessarily make a Let's Play more or less effective. It has to do with the game, obviously. If you don't want to watch a game, it's not going to be a good Let's Play for you personally. I think the misconception is you have to talk a lot about stuff while you're Let's Playing, and I've brought this example up a couple of times before. Link in the sidebar to Leisure Suit Larry 1 Let's Play, where the guy doesn't really talk a whole lot about anything, but it's really, really solid Let's Play. I've linked it a couple times before, but it's worth linking again because it's Leisure Suit Larry and it's dirty and it's absolutely hilarious. I mean, a game where you get to, like, you know, get killed by falling in dumpsters and sleeping with hookers and trying to mate with someone who you've married in a quickie wedding, and then they end up tying you to the bed because you forget to order wine in the hotel room. I mean, that's classic shit right there. That's all I've got for questions. Distracted by the thumbnails, especially the one with me pointing down. Thought that was a nice one. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if this is going to be one part or two parts, but certainly going to be a part. And thank you for your questions. Eventually, when I get around to this again in a couple of months, hopefully you'll have more questions. Feel free to look at the previous Q&A, which I'll either make video response to this video or put that in the sidebar as well. So you'll have lots of stuff to look at if you want to. Alright, Nicole, in the future, it's editing. See you guys later. My name is ilikebeingsmart, aka Nicole, whatever you want to call me, or as X Radical D calls me, Nikki. Either way, it's all cool. See you later.